Hey guys, Mega Retro Man back with part 2 of the NES games that I've beaten. I don't really need to explain what this video is about, so let's go ahead and continue on with my list. Gradius. This game I played during an online competition and ended up finishing the game. But since the game tends to loop, I ended up continuing during that competition. But all in all, I did beat the game. Gremlins 2. This game I beat when I was younger when I rented the game on a somewhat regular basis. Gun-Nac. So, my old roommate just kind of threw this game at me and said, "Here, play this, let's see if you can beat it." So I popped it in, played it, beat it on my first try. He comes back and says, "So, how'd you do?" I show him a picture of the ending screen, and he asked me, "How many continues did it take?" And I said, "None. I did it in one go." And he was shocked. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. Another game that I used to rent a lot when I was younger. I'd like to play this again. I really should. Kid Icarus. A game I've had for quite a while. And yes, I have beaten it. It is pretty tough. Especially when you get the eggplants on your head in the castles or dungeons or whatever you want to call it. And it takes forever just to find the nurse. It's a pain, but the game's doable, obviously. Kung Fu. 5 stages of the same repetitive stuff. Just like Gradius, you beat the game and you start over at the beginning and just progressively gets harder and harder. Legend of Zelda. Now, I was never really a fan of the first Legend of Zelda, so I didn't beat this game until about a few years ago, mainly because I didn't know where anything was. Little Mermaid. Just like Chip and Dale, this game was pretty short, very easy, not difficult whatsoever. Maniac Mansion. This game is fun. The humor is just dark and it's funny. There's multiple endings to this game, and I have unlocked them all. Marble Madness. This game is difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but when you do know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. Mega Man 1. The very first Mega Man game I ever played, but not the very first Mega Man game I beat. This took me a few years to actually play through the entire game. Mega Man 2. I didn't play this until a few years later. In fact, the order that I played the Mega Man games was Mega Man 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, and 6. I ended up playing number 3 before number 2, because the old video store, when I used to live in California, only had 1 and 3. And it wasn't until I moved up to Washington, where I am now, that I found Mega Man 2. Mega Man 3. This was the first Mega Man game that I beat. This was the game that introduced me to the Robot Masters from Mega Man 2. Mega Man 4. This was the very first Mega Man game that I ever owned. Very easy, very fun, and it's just a great game. Mega Man 5. This one has to be my personal favorite. Love the soundtrack, and I can blow through this game in roughly 50 minutes. I can easily do it in under an hour. Mega Man 6. I didn't play this game until much later after its release. In fact, I didn't play the original Mega Man 6 until the Mega Man collections came out for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube and other, various consoles. I got my hands on an actual Mega Man 6 cart and was able to play it through that. Metroid. This game, I've had the same cart since I was 6 years old. It is probably the one cart I've had the longest. This game took me about 6 years to beat, from when I was 6 years old to 12 years old. How I played through this game without a map and finished it, I will never know. Monster Party. Now, strangely enough, I didn't finish this game until I was going for the Twin Galaxies record score. Before that, I had never beat the game. NARC. I played this a lot when I was younger and played it through renting the game. A friend had it. I ended up beating the game at my old friend's place. Ninja Gaiden 1. Oh boy, here we go. Very tough. Oh man. Very aggravating. Ninja Gaiden 2. This is my favorite of the original three. I can play this game like it's nothing. Ninja Gaiden 3. I would like this game more if the timer didn't screw you at the last act. Because unlike the first two games, when you go from Act 7-1 to 7-2, the timer doesn't reset. The timer keeps going. And every time I get to Clancy, I have 1 second left. It drives me insane. Othello. Not much to say about this. Just beat the computer and voila, that's it. Power Blade. This was a fun platformer. I played this a lot when I was younger and finished it, about 10 years ago. Puss N Boots. This game is another short game and pretty easy. There are certain spots that can be kind of a hassle, but once you get the know-how on it, it's pretty easy. Okay, and that'll do it for part 2. Be sure to catch the final part in about a week or so. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.